Hey guys, it's Annalise VNT here with the latest on NFT NYC. Check it out. So, just full disclaimer here, this is a full review on NFT.NYC. If you guys went, if you didn't, you missed out. They had great breakfast. So, there was a couple interviews that Bits and Tokens dropped on the event, but this is my general review of how I think the event went. And I have a few things that I want to point out that I think are very important when considering this event because it is a little different than a typical conference. So first of all, this was not marketed as a conference. Fun fact. A lot of people thought this event was a little lackluster due to, I guess, the amount of people who actually showed up versus the expectation that others had. So in my opinion, it wasn't that bad. Only because it was not a conference. It was technically a meetup. So because of that, I think it was great. There was probably around 300 people there. I think that it filled up the area very nicely. If there's anything that I would change from it, is probably the distance between the stage, the speakers, and the booths, only because the way that the area was laid out was that there was a downstairs area that was the stage, and that's where all the people would be sitting down to listen to the speakers. And then there was an upstairs area where there were booths and also food. In that upstairs area, right above the booths, boom, were the speakers. Yeah, really loud, really hard to hear people, really hard to talk to people. It was actually a little difficult to even get interviews at the company's booths. For that reason, I had to take them away from their booths and shoot it somewhere else. But if there's anything I would change, it's definitely that. The other room on the side, it was okay. I think they were having their own thing there somehow. I'm not sure what's going on there, honestly. The only thing that I did do in there was see that there was an artist. Her name was Josie. Really cool stuff. Loved her art. And then there was also a gaming competition that went on over there, which I thought was also pretty awesome because who doesn't like gaming? And you get a free NFT. So speaking of the free NFT, well, let me talk to you about their goodie bags. So everything was online, all right? This was a fully digital goodie bag. Basically, you had to go to a designated website that the meetup designator gave you. And from there, you were able to download, I think over 40 NFTs. Let's talk about the booths. I think there was probably like 10 booths, maybe? I believe so. I remember Jack Radar, Splinterlands, Silica Nexus, Cosmos, Uplands. What was next to Uplands? Bitstamp. I think Open Seas was next to them. And then I think there was like 2 or 3 more booths. So like 10 max. There was 10 booths max. Again, not a conference. It was a meetup. And who said you can't have booths at meetups? Nobody. So I think it was fine. I think 10 less 9 booths, whatever they had, was fine. It was enough for me to have some new faces introduced to me, and it was enough for me to have some refreshing moments with other people that I've seen before. I think one of the coolest things that I had seen was Silica Nexus NFT vending machine. If you guys have not checked that out, there is a video on this channel explaining how that works. It's really cool. Let me tell you how it works. So you get a barcode, you scan the barcode, you download the app. From the app, you go to the vending machine, you pick what you want, you buy it from the vending machine, you scan the QR code the vending machine gives you, you put it on the app, boom, you got your NFTs. So the only thing that disappointed me was that I did not get a pair of pajamas. They were giving out onesies. They were giving out Crypto Kitty onesies, and I did not win a pair. I hope the curator of NFT NYC sees this and sees that I am currently mortified that I did not get a pair of those onesies. Actually, let him know. He knows I was really sad, but they were actually from last year, so they had some left over. They gave them out to the crowd if people answered questions. I was doing photography. Boo-hoo. Here I am. So after the meetup, of course, there was an after party. That was probably the most disappointing part of everything. Reason being, the space was way too small for the amount of people that it was trying to hold. We probably got, I want to say, like, get a shipping container, put it next to a shipping container, cut the shipping container in half, and then try to fit about 80 people in there. It's not happening, right? So that's probably around the amount of space that we had. You know, it was at a bar. It was on an upstairs bar in New York. Oof, yeah, definitely would have picked another location. And maybe they didn't expect to have as much as an audience come out after, because it was a little bit of a drive. The bar was not necessarily close. And honestly, they should have probably picked a close location. That's a recommendation I have for next time, guys. Definitely pick a closer location for your bar, especially when it's cold outside. People don't want to walk. And then taking an Uber in the city is a hassle at night, especially. So it was a lot. It was a Thursday night, you know, going into the weekend. A lot of people are out. There was other options that, you know, could have been made to probably not only make it easier for people to get there, but also when they get there and they made all that effort to get there, not be disappointed in your after party, because yikes. I couldn't get through the crowd at one point in time. It was just way too packed. And when people got there, they almost immediately left after it got, you know, to that brim point, because it becomes uncomfortable. You know, if you really wanted to be there and you really wanted to stay, you stayed. But eventually, even after like an hour, it basically fizzled out. Expect a crowd, because not everybody who goes to the conference goes to the after party. A lot of people look for the after parties in the space. And I know that's not what you meant the after party to be, but it also brings people who, you know, may have a reputable face or, you know, some insight that you may want there that just didn't make it to your conference or meetup or, you know, whatever. So after parties are super important. Make sure you have a decent space so people can meet up. All right, guys, so that's been my review on NFT NYC. I enjoyed it a lot. Lots of great speakers, lots of great presentations, lots of great companies as usual. And this has been brought to you by Bits and Tokens.